Hey guys, Jano Zero, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. We are digging taters out here on our place. Our first batch of potatoes is ready, and I've had some questions on how I store my summer potatoes and what we do with our potatoes and stuff. So we'll just show you as we go along. We can't. I made some videos about our winter storage, where we store our potatoes and our onions through the winter with that refrigerator that I got buried in the side of the hill. But we can't use that in the summertime because it gets way too hot and the stuff won't store. It'll just sit in there and rot. So I'll show you what we do in our pantry to store our summer potatoes and stuff like that. So the first step is dig up some potatoes. Usually I just use my hands whenever I'm digging because the soil that I grow the potatoes in is really light and fluffy. So I'll just start. I'll pull up the plant, pull it up real slow, shake off the excess dirt, and you can see that you get the smaller potatoes up here close to the top is where you're going to normally get your small ones. Now these little bitty, what they call new potatoes or baby potatoes, these little ones like this, we'll just clean them off and cut them in half and throw them into vegetable soup when we can vegetable soup up here in the next few days, and I'll make a video about that. And then the ones that are about this size or so, these here, we will save these and dry these out, and in the next couple of weeks we will use these as our seed potatoes to plant the next batch of potatoes with. These are Yukon Golds. So when you get a potato about this size or so, these will be the ones that I use to replant the next crop of potatoes. And then the bigger potatoes will be further down into the dirt. Just take my hand and run it around and make sure that I don't miss any and dig them up. And that's what we do. So let me get all my potatoes up and dug, and we'll get back with you when we move into the house. Okay guys, we are back in the house here, and we got, maybe I'll call that, out of that row of potatoes, maybe another, I don't know, 10 pounds or so out of there. And we got about 15 or 20 pounds out of our row of red potatoes. I didn't make a video about the red potatoes, and I apologize. But while we were out in the garden, we went ahead and harvested some other stuff. Man, I love my garden. These are what we got today. Those are lemon cucumbers right there. And of course tomatoes, zucchinis and various peppers, sweet corn, okra, excuse me, for all the people who don't speak Hillbillyese. We got some okra and a couple of heads of cabbage. There's more cabbage that are down there ready, but I'm going to leave them until tomorrow. We'll start processing the stuff that we got up here, and and plus we've already canned 21 quarts of green beans, and used a bunch of the tomatoes and made a couple of big batches of salsa already with some onions and other stuff. But man, I love garden season. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but you can produce a lot of your own produce and a lot of your own vegetables, man. And it's nice to eat a tomato that tastes like a tomato. So anyway, that's what we got today. Just wanted to share a little bit of our today's harvest with you. Now we're going to go in and I'll show you what we do with the potatoes. Alrighty, now the red potatoes that we got, we had this old burlap sack here, and we just put a hook on it and are hanging the red potatoes in this burlap sack here in the pantry. This is an old onion sack. Right now it's got oranges in it, but once we use up the oranges, then we'll be using it to store potatoes. And also this mesh, it's just one of them cheap mesh backpacks that right now we got lemons in here, but we make lemonade, and when I make lemonade I'll put some orange slices in it because it makes it awesome. You should try it. Totally try a couple of orange slices in your lemonade. But we just put them on hooks and hang them off of the racks here in the pantry and store them that way. That way it keeps them up off the ground and they have good airflow through them. Now for the potatoes, we don't have, I would love to be able to show you guys, an underground storage shelter cellar, root cellar that's got nice beautiful racks full of potatoes, but I don't have that, and I don't have any way to dig one of those. So what I did was I just used this is like a closet coat hanger frame thing that you can get for like $5 at Walmart. This is just an old fishing net, some old fishing netting, and a couple of the hooks that I had left over from the bungee cords when I made the chicken plucker, those S hooks that were into the bungee cords. And I just hooked them up and made like a bag, And that's what we're hanging our potatoes in to keep them up off the ground, to keep them some air flowing through them, and they'll store all summer long just fine like that. And the next batch of potatoes that we have, when it starts getting cool outside, then we'll move everything out from here outside into that refrigerator that we had buried in the side of the hill. So, and I know the lighting is crappy in here, but it is what it is. So now we get our potatoes that we brought in, and we'll separate them out. We'll start separating them, and we'll take their little bitty small ones, the baby and the new potatoes, and we'll put them in this bucket here, and we'll use those for soups and throw them in with the green beans when we cook them up, and stuff that you use little small potatoes for, small potato salads, and so on and so forth. And then this box here is where we're going to lay out our seed potatoes, and then we'll dry these here out. And we'll plant these in a couple of weeks when they get good and dry and ready to be planted. We'll use these to grow the next batch of potatoes. So, there you go. Some old fishnet, a couple of S-hooks, and that's how I store mine through the summertime inside the pantry here. Just trying to keep it as simple as I can. Nothing special, nothing fancy. I'm not in the, I'm not in the fancy business, and I'm not in the, the looking pretty business or any of that kind of stuff. But I try to be in the food production and storage business, and this is how I do my potatoes. I'm not some kind of expert food storageologist or some crap like that. I'm just a dude, and this is what I do. I hope it helps. Remember, if I can do it, you can do it. We grew, 10, 12 pounds of potatoes in a little bitty 2x2 section, and we're going to replant it and grow more. So that'll be, hopefully we'll end up by the time the winter hits with 100, 120 pounds of potatoes that'll get us through the fall, through the winter, and through the spring until we can start growing more. So there you go, guys. And I really do mean it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So you guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless. The end. Okay, not the end. I forgot to mention that when we bring our potatoes in out of the ground, when we're outside, we'll just kind of brush them off a little bit to get most of the dirt off of them. But when we go to store them, I do not wash them. I don't brush them off or anything like that, because anything that damages the skin will start rotting. That potato will start going bad. And you want to try to avoid, one potato going bad, because it'll spread through the whole lot of them. So just dig them up out of the ground. Right as soon as you dig them up, just kind of brush them off with your hands, and then put them in your bucket and bring them right in. And don't wash them, don't clean them, don't do anything, and just set them right in to your storage. And there you go. So I forgot to mention that. Sorry. Not quite sure what to do with my hands now. The end. Buzz, buzz. The end.